Hey everybody, how you doing? Brett's Brewery here, in case you forgot who I was. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I was tagged by CraigTube. It was Tasting Niche that started this question and answer video. You got to answer 9 questions, and at the end of the video, you tag people to do those same 9 questions and frequently asked beer questions. I was tagged by CraigTube. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate it. I just had to do this video. I thought it would be fun to do. So thank you very much for tagging me. Let's do it. Question 1. How did you get into beer? Well, very young age, I was curious, intrigued. My dad drank beer. I had to see what it was all about. So I drank beer, his beer, and did not like it at all. It was nasty. And that was at a very young age. Then into high school, you know, everyone's drinking beer. Had to be part of the crowd. So I was drinking, you know, Bud Light and stuff like that. And it just had no taste. It was really, really boring to me. So I thought I would try, you know, like Leinenkugels and Amberbach and Fat Tire. And I was drinking all those at the time. You know, I was working my way into craft beer, and then I finally realized beer has taste. You know, it's great. I love it. So that's kind of how I got into beer. Question 2. What's my favorite beer? I do not have a favorite beer. My favorite beer is my next beer. It really is. I try different beers. I try different recipes all the time. Brewing beer. I totally am into my next beer. I love all types of beer, so I can't really nail down my favorite beer. If you could only have one beer, what would it be? Well, I couldn't drink, you know, like stouts or anything like that. If they're too heavy, I would want something light and refreshing. I would probably go with I can't name one beer again. It would probably be a light pale ale, you know, something really refreshing. Probably just a basic pale ale would be my to-go-to beer. Question 4. How can you drink so much and stay healthy? Believe it or not, I do not drink a whole lot. I'll have 3 or 4 on weekdays, and then on the weekends I will indulge. I'll have quite a few. But, you know, I don't drink excessively every day. So some people don't think that way. As far as staying healthy, main thing is I eat right. I eat good foods. And then I also exercise. My work, I walk probably 5 miles a day anyway. I walk a lot. So I do get my exercise. I eat right. And that's how I stay healthy. Question 5. Are you an alcoholic? Boy, that's a tough question. A lot of people got different opinions on what an alcoholic is. To me, I am not an alcoholic because I grew up with an alcoholic. I know an alcoholic. It was my father. He went through treatment and everything, and I know for a fact that I am not an alcoholic. No way. To me, an alcoholic is a person that drinks to get drunk. That is their goal, is to get drunk. That is not my goal. I drink beer because I love the taste of beer. And getting drunk is just a side effect. Some people think, oh, you drink beer. I don't care how many you have. You drink beer, you're an or drink anything, you're an alcoholic. That's not true. That is not true at all, because that particular person, I would ask them, I would say, okay, what is your favorite food? And they'll say, Brett, I love pizza. Pizza is my favorite food. I eat pizza all the time. And then I'm going to say to them, are you a pizza-aholic? I mean, do you go to PA meetings? I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. No, I know what an alcoholic is, and if you're drinking to get drunk, then yeah, you're an alcoholic. That's my opinion. What is your favorite ingredient? When I first started brewing, I was not into big beers, like IPAs or porters or stouts or any of that. I was into like cream ales and easy drinking beers at the time. So I started out really low on the spectrum. I was not brewing Bud Light. I never did. But I was brewing, cream ales and stuff like that. And I was always getting more and more hops into my beer as I slowly worked myself up. And the very first time I added a shit ton of hops to the boil and smelling the aroma coming off of the boil, and I had my head over the brew kettle. Just, oh, that smells so good. My favorite ingredient is definitely hops. I just love hops. And I know that you need several ingredients to make beer. There's a ton of ingredients. Obviously, you need yeast and all that other, but I just love hops. That's my favorite ingredient for sure. Question 7, do you brew? This has got to be the dumbest question ever. I don't even know why it's in here. Of course I brew. Do you really think, do you honestly think that I would have 4 commercial beers on tap? I mean, come on. Hell no. That is all homebrew there. That's a dumb question. Yes, of course I brew. If so, what is your favorite method? Well, I started out with extracts and partial mashes and stuff like that. And went into all grain, and all grain is definitely my favorite. Why? Because I can control so much. I can control what ingredients go into the grain bill. I can control the mash temperature. I can control everything about it, and and then the fermentation and all that. Definitely all grain is my favorite. Okay, question 8. What was your first beer? Well, my dad drank beer early on, and then he got into vodka and all that. But I would say he drank Schlitz. So I would say my first beer was Schlitz. But like I said, I did not like it. I got into high school, and I was probably drinking Bud Light and stuff like that. So those were my first beers. Who in the beer world do you look up to? Well, I might get some criticism for this, but I look up to the beginnings of beer, the pioneers of beer. I look up to Frederick Pabst. Started Pabst. Well, no, he didn't start Pabst Brewery. It was actually Jacob Best that started Pabst Brewery, and then Frederick Pabst took over. Look up to him. Anheuser-Busch, Adolf Coors, people like that. The people that started Steve Miller. No, it wasn't Steve Miller. Steve Miller's a singer. No, not Steve Miller. But you know what I mean. Those kind of guys that started, knew that they brewed good beer and said, hey, I'm going to go big time. I'm going to, brew this and go nationwide with it. They had the balls to do it, and that's who I look up to. And, and if it wasn't for those guys, craft beer would not be where it is today. I mean, Sam Adams would have never done it, and I look up to those guys too. Sam Adams, the guys that started Stone Brewery, all those guys. I think it takes balls to say, hey, I got good beer, and I'm going to put it out there and do it. So that's who I look up to. That is it. As far as tagging anybody, I think everyone has pretty much done it. I mean, this frequently asked beer questions has gone viral. I think I'm one of the last ones to do it, so I really can't tag anybody. But I know one person that has not done it. I'm going to tag Randy Sirquack. He has not done a video forever. So, Randy, I want you to answer these same 9 questions. I think that'd be good to hear what you have to say. So, thank you, everybody, for watching. I am out.